last Thursday night, the Schmoedown community was able to gather for a amazing experience with a Schmoedown Throwdown event where we bid the arguably most popular team and arguably greatest team a sad but fond farewell in the Shirewolves, Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing. What you're about to see is my reaction to the actual streamed version of last Thursday night's match. I'll be, following along with the chat, along with the match itself. It was a very, very emotional match, to say the least. So, without further ado, but before we get into that, I want to thank Clark, Rachel, Christian, Mark, and everybody at Schmoedown that made this wonderful event happen. It was very, very humbling to see all the hard work that was put into this event. Everybody that attended in studio, in chat, and I hope that many, many people will appreciate everything that was done for this event. So, without further ado, let's get into this Shirewolves emotional final match. KOrruption versus the Shirewolves Team Championship match today on JTH Reacts to the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Really excited for this. Oh, on the countdown. It's funny. It's almost like I'm in the Royal Rumble. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bet it. Boo. And now we wait. The suspense. The suspense is killing me. Oh. Hello, Roxy.
Miss Stryer.
Hey, Captain.
Lovely to see you.
Hello,
Lovely
you.
as always.
Good to see you too. You've been doing an amazing job. I think that you are
Thank you.
so refreshing. Just absolutely doing. I'm really appreciative, and I think we're working really well together. I'm grateful for all the things that you've done for the Odd Couple, and
Well, thank you so much for saying so.
Nice
You're
shades,
welcome.
too. Not
There's
as sexy as
one
mine, though.
thing, though, mostly online, I've been noticing that you
Oh,
haven't
where the me
really
people are.
made any big moves. You haven't really done anything huge, like dropped any bombs, and
I've noticed that,
I'm
too.
a little surprised because it doesn't seem much like you.
Big things take time. They take planning. They take thought. I have something to show you. This is something that I like to call the nuke.
The nuke?
The nuke.
Does it
Why don't you
does
take
it
a look at
blow
it?
up in your
I'd be
face?
very curious to hear what you think.
Okay. Oh my god. It could be amazing, but also, I don't know. And there's no way that Christian ever goes for
I see
this.
that becoming a caption this really soon.
Yes, you will.
You think?
Yes. I mean, anyone who cannot recognize genius is by definition a moron. And I don't think
Me.
that Christian is a moron. After all,
But me is.
I'm right here. I'm the commissioner, aren't I?
That's true. I don't think Christian's a moron either. Good luck with this.
Oh, I don't think I'm going to need luck at all. I think Christian's going to go for this.
Okay.
That was interesting. Oh dear. Let the games begin. Welcome, 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 Bahu Doris. Oh, that's not what they were leading to.
Match of the year.
Shame it does. It's a shame it has to start so late on the East Coast. It's after 10 over here. Hope I don't doze off. That's why I've got my munchies. You don't see me usually eating on a telecat, but you gotta be occupied.
You can feel it.
Hello, Mark. Hello, Christian. The gang's all here. And why wouldn't they be?
It's the Schmoedown Throwdown Championship team match here. I'm Christian Harloff. Mark Ellis.
I am Mark Ellis, and boy, Christian George, what an event we have for
Christian
the kids
George,
here tonight.
George,
the Shirewolves.
George of the Schmoedown.
Shirewolves are one of, if not the best team of all time in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Classy, Clark Wolf, The Crusher, Rachel Cushing, legends of the game, and the team champions. They made a decision. They sat down, myself with the Shirewolves, and they said,
I was not invited.
You were not invited to that one. They said, this is it. Win or lose, we are going to step down. But they wanted to make sure, because I made
thousands of hearts
that I said to them, I said, look, if you wanted to, you guys have nothing else to prove now. You can just step away, and we'll put the belts on the line in the tournament. And they said, no. We want to go out. Corruption earned their spot. We want to play them. And in order to do that, we had to find this time. We had a special time to do it. It's today. Thank you to Thad and to Mark Fernandez and everybody for making this happen.
Thursday night. That was
extra late
for some reason when they made the date, I assumed that it was a Saturday night.
But everybody, huh? I mean,
it wasn't.
This is what you love about the Schmoedown, and it is incidental that it is happening on a Thursday night right now. Because remember the Friends Seinfeld lineup on CTV? That's exactly what this is going to be, because as you said, the Shirewolves, they're looking to ride off into the sunset.
The Wednesday
like
before
the
this actually
Jones
happened,
Last
is what I should
Crusade,
say.
But
Because
Corruption
yesterday,
is looking
that
to
doesn't make
crystal
sense by the
skull
time this will come
and
up.
take those belts and ride off into their own future in the movie trivia Schmoedown team division.
And it's funny you say that, because ever since we announced that this would be the last match for the Shirewolves,
a lot of tears.
Rightfully so. There's been a lot of emotion. The fans have gotten behind it. There's been a lot of support for it and everything. This is the last match for the Shirewolves. And Corruption has kind of taken a back seat to all this. And you have to think there are two things on the table here for Corruption. If Chance Ellison happens to win the title tonight, he will surpass his rival Paul Oyama, and he will be the youngest champion of all time. Mike Kalinowski,
we can't have that.
will be the third double-belted champion of all time. So Corruption's fighting for a
Can't
lot
have
right
that
now.
either.
But yes, it's about the Shirewolves. It really is when you look at what they have accomplished, and this would be the fourth time overall that they won a title match. You know, there's so much on the line for the Shirewolves, but they've earned everything that they've got.
You look at their significance in the history of the movie trivia Schmoedown, both inside the ring and outside, what it means to the people at large, what it has meant to fans around the world to be able to watch Rachel and Clark compete together. Both sterling individual competitors, and when they team up, there's just an extra ingredient of magic. But Corruption, I mean, this is the role they were born to play, is a spoiler to somebody's going away party. That's why I wore the varsity jacket, because it's a graduation for the Shirewolves.
Well, you said it, because Classy Clark Wolf, she was the trailblazer. She was the first, really, and I said it before, yes, we've had other women in the league before Clark came in, but Clark was the first one to come in. She went 3-0, challenged for a title, kept on playing, and just became like a superstar just like that. And then Rachel, she was the one that came to me and said, Rachel Cushing's answered questions in the crowd. Get her a match.
And
they
thank
didn't
God
join
y'all
forces right
did.
away, but eventually they did, and they formed this big super team that they are now with the Shirewolves. But you also mentioned Mike Kalinowski. Cushing and Kalinowski again, and people forget. And I said this yesterday on this live stream that I did.
They're destined
One of the
to dance with each other until the end of time.
Was Wolf versus Kalinowski. It was a #1 contender match for the singles championship. Sudden death, and Clark Wolf took that victory. So there's a lot of history between these teams. Just never have they gone together in a teams match.
And
I love
Chance
it. I
is
think
just
that
there.
the wild card here tonight
Chance
could be
has no
Chance Ellison
association with
teaming
anyone.
up with Mike Kalinowski. How's that chemistry going to play out? We know how it's going to play out for the Shirewolves. This is what we've been waiting for. As a great band once said, I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Do, 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 do.
Well, if you're getting that
And then,
excited, I'm excited too.
then Zach
And
Galifianakis
if that
got
didn't get
knocked
you pumped
out.
up, check out this great trailer here by our own, the Nerd Chronic. Mr. Eric, let's take it away.
So does this
Let
mean
the
as
tears
well,
begin.
Teams division after that match, IG, singles, this is it.
Yes.
Shirewolves.
Rachel the Crusher Cushing.
Wolf is a legend, quite possibly one of the best teams we've ever
They're
seen.
fan favorites out there for a reason.
Really gonna do
Time to
something.
rep, time to cheer, time to cry, time to weep,
Legends of the
time to bawl.
has just
gonna
been
be so
more
sad
than I
seeing him leave.
expected, but also I don't think that I ever thought that I would get to a place of such just like even keel about it.
Why not go out, try it once? I don't think I'll win. I don't think this will actually go very far, but I'll put my money where my mouth is. Both of us had, roller coaster rides to get here. We had the strong ups at the beginning. We had the really crushing defeats. That's a part of it. It's a hard part of it, but at the end of the day, when I look back on it, it was almost more special having dealt with all the bumps along the way.
Is it somewhat poetic that the last match is against Mike Kalinowski again?
Of course it is.
The movie Trivia Schmoedown is not about the storylines ending all happy and fluffy like a cake at a wedding. It is about truth. It's about
But cake
destiny.
can be
You
tasty.
must be Destiny taking over, is that right?
Damn right, I'm Destiny.
This is now a Titan of the game.
I'm not intimidated.
Ah,
Not
Titan.
one
What a
damn
tease.
bit.
What a jab.
Ellison now has a title shot. Mike Kalinowski has his first title shot outside of the Inner Geekdom division.
We have a path in front of us. Two future champions together.
You all doubted me. I set out last year to take that Inner Geekdom title, and I got it. I'm taking those team titles. We're going to have all the belts at the end of this. Every time I open my mouth to say what I'm going to do, it happens. You see what happens when you doubt me. Keep doubting me. You've
John
seen
Roker cameo.
the consequences of when you do that to me, what happens.
And now this is one more time that Mike Kalinowski gets to play Rachel Cushing for a championship. So the story is there once again.
You know, they had that great streak, but now they've lost. I know what it's like to lose. Losing makes you a better competitor. Great competitors, they take the loss in stride. You come back stronger than ever before. I've proved that. He's going to prove it. We're going to be champions.
I still have won far more matches against Mike than he's won against me. I'll just point that out.
And I'm determined to make sure that our record versus each other ends at 4-1. We're fighters, and we always want to put our money where our mouths are, and we will always get up here and answer the questions. So we're going out swinging.
We're gonna go out there and give them hell.
We loved playing. We loved everything we've done so far, and we want to give you one last show. We want to come up here one last time. We fight all the way to the end.
That's amazing.
There should be a women's league. There's no women's league. There's no women's league. We are the league. We're in the league, and we're the winners right now.
We have accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We're incredibly proud of what we've done. And to the fans, we are so incredibly grateful for all of the support, and this last one is for you.
Hard not to get emotional watching that,
That was
one.
awesome, Eric.
Did you hear that ripping electric guitar?
Yeah.
Was that Harold Faltermeyer's score from Top
Spoilers.
Gun? What a promo that was.
It
Christian,
wasn't me.
Win or lose with the Shirewolves. I hope everybody out there bought stock in Kleenex because we're going to be going through more tissues than Bakuga
yeah.
in high school.
Yeah,
Nah,
good.
it's good. It's true. It's good.
That's
good.
That's why we call her Classic Clark Wolf, because we needed her.
That's, I know. Well, it's hard to beat that. When you have David B, I want to give props about David B. And Eric for doing just that promo. David B has been doing a lot of our original music, and man, that was just something special.
Is he friends with Joe Satriani? I mean, who was that on electric guitar?
But you know, Mark, when you look at that promo and you see all the history between what the Shirewolves as individual players together, and you look at a player like Chance Ellison, this up-and-coming rookie, and then Mike Kalinowski, who's just having a hell of a year. I mean, he really has just turned around from what he was when he first started to a pretty good player to a great player. This feels, you can feel it in the air, feels like a heavyweight title fight.
You look at the history that is
no
between
ear-biting, then.
Clark and Rachel,
No
what they've done individually,
Yep.
what Corruption has posed as a threat to them in the team division. I mean, this is everything you want in a matchup, regardless of sport. I think that people across different lines, whether you care about soccer, whether you care about boxing, football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, you love the spirit of competition. You love when it's all on the line. That's exactly what you're getting, and it's about to go down right now. 5 rounds, winner take all.
All right, Mark, so let us know a little bit of tail of the tape here between both of the teams, both Corruption and the Shirewolves.
Well, we're going to start actually with the Shirewolves, because the Shirewolves, they are great at comic book movies, horror movies, and being the greatest team that ever was.
I salute
on
that.
the other hand, they are great at
And
action
support
movies,
that.
James Bond movies, and trying to dethrone the greatest team that ever was.
All right, well, that
No,
being
they
said,
can't do
the tail
that.
of the tape, it's out there. I ask you, are you ready?
I'm pumped.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for
Movie
the movie
trivia. Schmoedown.
Same game as high school football rules. 5 rounds for the movie trivia Schmoedown Team Championship of the world. Introducing first.
Oh, that music.
Right to the ring. By their managers, Grace Hancock and the pit boss, Ken Knapsack. With a record of 4 wins, 1 defeat, they are the #1 ranked contenders, the Cobra, Chance Ellison, and the movie trivia Schmoedown Inner Geekdom Champion of the World, Mike the Killer Kalinowski. Corruption!
There's Grace, there's Chance.
And there's the champ. There's the Inner Geekdom champ.
Grace leads him out,
Yeah.
Ken flanks him, and the stars themselves in the middle. Look at that shiny belt.
Yeah. And look at the Inner Geekdom champ. He's going to be trying to become the third ever double champion. And what if he did it? He would be taking both of the belts off of his rival, Rachel Cushing.
That's right, and Ken having a little bit of fun with the Shirewolves and what this means to them with what he wrote on the whiteboard. You say goodbye, I say hello. That's obviously a famous monkey song.
Right.
No.
All right.
Get
And
off the
their
stage.
opponents. Led to the ring by Emma Fife and Mark Andreyko. With a record of 7 wins, 1 defeat, and 2 knockouts. They are the reigning, defending, undisputed movie trivia Schmoedown Team Champions of the World. Classy Clark Wolf, the Crusher, Rachel Cushing, the Shirewolves.
We're getting the club
Look
back
at that.
together.
For one night only, the Fife Club reunites.
Waving to their throng of admirers, sold-out crowd here to cheer on the Shirewolves in their last match.
Darn it.
Their last intro.
Wore the wrong
It is
shirt.
hugs all around for this very tightly knit. You know, you would say group, I say family that is going to be rooting on
We're not
Clark and
friends.
Rachel here tonight.
And
Damn.
Corruption giving respect. Corruption, look at
Except
Corruption,
you.
giving respect. The audience giving respect. Big round of applause for the Wolves. Mike Kalinowski showing respect to the Shirewolves as everybody getting ready to play this match. Look at all the gold up there, too.
I like the handshakes. I'm going to
Yeah,
take
of
back
course.
some of the things that I've written on social media about corruption.
Well, they are sitting down. They are ready to play. This is it. The team's title is on the line.
Look at all the belts
I know.
on stage.
This is the Shirewolves' final match in this championship match.
Look at all the
Mark,
belts.
Rules of round number 1.
In round number 1,
And
this
there's
is
just
a
a
team
bunch of,
format. However, round number 1 is an
Brad
individual
Kalinowski,
exercise
die-cast,
of movie trivia, Schmoedown know-how. The field will hear 8 questions from 8
Old
different
Pepsi
genres
cans.
of cinema. Each question is
I
worth
actually got a
1
Pepsi
point.
can over
There is
there.
no penny for missing a
It's
question.
Superman
There's no stealing
Returns,
available in round number 1.
circa
As soon as we ask the question,
2006.
you have, give or take,
It's
15
been there for a
seconds
long
to write down
time.
your best attempt at
I don't
an
plan on
answer
opening it
the
anytime
whiteboard that we
soon.
have so kindly provided
Probably would
in
not
front of
teach
you
very
with the
good.
marker that RB3 picked up not an hour ago at Michael's. Once the question is asked and we address you by your first name, please reveal what you wrote on the whiteboard to your camera. At the same time,
you can also
verbalize
see
your
that
attempt at
there.
an
That's a
answer
couple of
into
the Schmoedown
microphone. Each team has 3
accessories
usages
that I've been
of
getting
the
from
JTH rule
Patreon.
throughout the duration of the match. If
behind
you're not
it
sure you heard a
is
question, you just want to buy yourself
the
another
Schmoedown
15
poster
seconds,
that I got
use
in
the
LA.
JTE rule. You also each have one challenge to be used at any point throughout the 5-round
Ninja Turtles:
match.
The Ultimate Visual
Christian,
History.
Feels good.
It does feel good.
Very
So
nice.
we
Very nice of
asked
my
the
my
champions
collection.
first. Are you ready?
And the thing. The thing's there.
And the challengers, are you ready?
We're ready. Let's get it.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown!
Yay! How many questions will I get right?
Question number 1.
Oh, I like
round
they
number
actually
1
put
comes
their
from
the
the realm
team
of
logos on
comedies. Everybody, comedies.
Oh, I wasn't expecting
thank
comedies
you.
to be the first
Thank you.
question.
All
I
right.
wasn't prepared.
Who stars as a basketball player named Jackie Moon in the sports comedy Semi-Pro?
I've been watching that Mindhunter.
People like it.
Yeah.
You like it too?
I like the lead. He reminds me of a young Matthew Modine.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. 5,
It's a shame I know about this film.
3,
Will
2,
Ferrell.
1. We start with Clark Wolf.
Will Ferrell.
Yes, Mike.
Will Ferrell.
Rachel.
Will Ferrell.
Chance.
Will Ferrell.
Tie 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. There we
Hey,
go.
All right.
2-2
Parts should have
and
been
1.
great.
There we go. So 2-2.
I can't play
2-2. That
with
is
a
the
partner.
score at the moment.
We'll move on to dramas.
Yes.
My perfect
Dramas
round
is your
ends.
next category, and your query is: Joel Schumacher directed Demi Moore, Rob Lowe, and Emilio Estevez in what 1980s movie? Where were you in the 1980s, Christian Georgia? What were you doing?
The
Were
80s
you
I remember.
sitting in an above-ground pool, swimming around, eating grilled cheese sandwiches like me?
Did you have cameras on me or something? I like what you're doing over there. 5,
What's Christian
4,
today, Mom?
3,
I'll say the Lost
2. I'm
Boys.
going to go
That's
visit him in
wrong.
California. 1. Pens down, Mike Kalinowski.
Flatliners.
No. Rachel.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Yes. Chance.
St. Elmo's Fire.
And Clark.
St. Elmo's Fire.
So only Mike misses there. 4-3.
That Flatliners answer not as bad. I heard Flatliners. I'm like, oh, wait, there's a lot of people. Yeah, there's some crossover there.
All right. Question 3 is from directors. Directors. Who directed the films Darkman and A Simple Plan?
You wonder something great about St. Elmo's Fire?
I would love to.
So there's like the sax player in that movie.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He performed at the sexy sax player. He's still
thought
got
he
the
was-
he's
Rob Lowe.
still got the hair. No, there's another sax player.
Oh, fine. 5,
Maybe he's the real sax player
4,
because Rob Lowe wasn't hitting that.
3,
horn. Maybe he wasn't.
2, 1.
Barry
Pens down,
Sonnenfeld.
and Rachel.
Sam Raimi.
Yes.
Oh,
Chance.
Sam Raimi.
Clark.
Sam Raimi.
Mike.
Sam Raimi.
Yep, there we go. So 6-5.
Sam Raimi.
Question down by 1. Question down by 1.
And I still have 1.
And next
And I'm
question.
shocked I
Mike.
even have
We
that.
move on to the world of fantasy/science fiction. The question is, what film stars Bradley Cooper as a struggling writer who uses a mysterious pill that allows him to use 100% of his brain abilities? I think you know the question I'm going to ask.
Morgan Freeman.
How much of your brain are you using right now?
Oh, 2%. I have no sleep. But I would also say that
It's nice for all the fans that are watching.
Fine.
I
Oh,
think
sorry.
this
You got
is it.
2% of a heart.
I was
4,
confused
that's a
this with
lot
the
more than
TV
yours.
show
You
that
got
came
3,
out. Is it Limitless?
1. Pens down, please. Chance.
Limitless.
Yes. Clark.
Limitless.
Mike.
Limitless.
Rachel.
Limitless.
There you go. So only.
I'm trying to remember there was a TV show that had a similar
pitching for
concept
game.
to that.
All right, here
I
is
keep
the
thinking
next
that was called
category.
Limitless.
Number 5 is movie release dates.
Oh, yeah.
In what
Okay.
year did G.I. Joe Retaliation come out?
Oh,
the classic.
Yeah. This is what we call a perfect round buster. Right here. Ooh, boy, that is.
5, 4, 3, 2,
2010?
1. Clark, what do you got?
2007?
No, Mike.
2013.
Yes,
Oh.
Rachel.
Say 2011.
And Chance.
2013.
Corruption takes the lead there. Mike gets that one right. Chance is the only one who is still perfect. Next one.
All right. Next question is in the world of animated movies. These are movies drawn by hand or on a computer.
Mark.
The question is 2%.
And it's
In the world
dwindling.
of animated movies, who voices the character of Valka, Hiccup's mother, in How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3? And you and I have, what do you want to say, 10, 15 bucks? Right
10, 15. Oh,
yeah. You want to say 10 bucks?
No. I got sweaty hands.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm not going steak
5,
dinner. But
4, 3, 2,
Nope.
1. Pens down, please, and we start with Mike.
Glenn Close?
No, Rachel.
That's what I had.
Kate Blanchett.
Yes, Chance.
Kate Blanchett.
And
I had
Clark.
Glenn
Emma
Close.
Thompson.
Oh,
Crap.
okay, so tied up now. Right, we're tied up. No, sorry, corruption.
At least,
still up by 1.
At least me and Mike have the same thing in mind,
10-9.
which
Next one.
makes me
Next
honored.
one's only chance is perfect still. So, question 7. Horror/thriller. What is the first name of Neve Campbell's character in the Scream franchise?
So you and I are going to go see a little horror movie on Monday. Excited about that?
Very excited.
The one with the clown?
Sex and the City 3.
Now that's horror.
5, 4, 3.
Want some popcorn, Carrie?
2.
I can't even guess a name,
1.
which should be
Pens
easy to
down,
guess.
please. And Rachel.
Sydney.
Yes. And Chance.
Sydney.
Clark.
Sydney.
Mike.
Sydney.
Got it.
Well,
Okay,
if I had
so
guessed it, damn sure would not have been that.
Corruption keeps the lead, 12-11. So we come down to this. As far if Chance hits it, Chance will be the only one to get a perfect round, and we'll have the bonus question.
Well, good, because the kid drove from, Arizona to get here tonight, so I think he deserves it. All right, action
job,
adventure.
Chance.
The question, last question, round 1 is, what is the title of the sequel to the Jackie Chan, Owen Wilson movie, Shanghai Noon?
Oh, that's
So Chance.
Congratulations on your
A
perfect
sense of
round.
frustration boils over the crowd.
Look at this score already, 12-11.
This is what you pay for. I mean,
Yes,
these are two of the best teams that we've ever seen.
5, 4, 3,
Shanghai Knights.
1. Pens down. Chance.
Shanghai Knights.
Perfect
There it is.
game for
Shanghai
him.
Knights.
Yes, Mike.
Shanghai Knights.
Chance.
Shanghai Knights.
All right, so Chance got it.
Nice job, Chance.
So,
Oh,
only
perfect round.
Chance- So Chance,
That's
only
almost as
you,
perfect as
you
the
will be
ticker.
one to answer this. You do not have to write it down. You just have to answer it 15 seconds. Are you ready for your question?
Yep.
Who played Lita Lestrange, Newt's former love, in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald?
Zoe Kravitz.
Yes, for one more point. All right. So Corruption now takes a 2-point lead over the champions as we get into round
Chance, what are
number
you
2.
trying to do?
What you saw in that
Win?
round, they both played really,
No.
really tight. All had strong first rounds, all of them, but Chance stood out just a little bit by getting the perfect
You
round.
say play tight as in how the kids use the slang tight. Like, man, that was a really tight first round. I enjoyed myself because they looked very confident
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I'm
I think there's a lot of confidence. There was a lot of, I
Don't
say,
try to be
looseness.
winning,
I think the Shirewolves
or
are
else
playing
we'll,
like they got
we'll have
nothing
to do
lose,
this
right?
like the
Although
2.5
there's a
Men
bet on
series
and
finale
Corruption
where I just
matching
drop
that
a
kind of
piano
energy,
on
so
your
it's going to be
head.
interesting to see what do you spin in round number 2. Are you going to get a favorable category? If somebody spins something they're not confident, is that going to throw the team chemistry off?
Well, we're going to find out because round number 2, the wheel
Yes, it
round,
is.
we begin. Mark, how does that work?
It is the Wheel of Fate, Doom, and Justice.
Wheel
on
of
that
Death,
wheel, you're
gotta
going to
put it
see 12
away.
different categories from
It's
10
all
different
let
corners
me
of the movie
know,
Trivia Schmoedown
babe.
Galaxy. A note to the teams and the competitors.
let's
There is no
sing.
opponent's
John
and
has a
spinner's
belt
choice
he
on that
must
wheel, so each
reclaim.
wedge is
Which
actually
could be
a
after this
category
match.
You could answer
Hopefully
6
not, though.
questions
Let's not
from.
ruin
Each
the
question is worth 2 points. There's no penalty for
Opponent's
missing a
choice is
question.
there to
However, there
screw.
is stealing available
They
in
know
round
what
number
I
2.
say
So
is
if the
true.
teams are not sure of the
Wheel
answer, you can ask
of
us for multiple choice.
Death,
We'll give you 4
got
options,
afraid of the
one of which is the correct
wheel.
answer. At that point, the value of the
Wheel of
question
Death.
goes down to 1. Keep in mind, teams, you can confer
opponent's choice
with
probably
your
won't even be
teammate
on there
for each
because
and
I know they don't
every
like putting it in.
round 2 question. Each team still has all their JTE rules and all their challenges remaining. Christian, back to you with the weather.
All right, so we will ask the challengers
well, it's
first.
LA,
because of
so
the 2-point lead
nice.
at the moment. Would you guys like to
Back
go
to
first or
you.
second?
We're going to go first.
You're going to go first, please. Spin and spin from the wheel, please, not the pegs.
Please,
Mike
God, not the
Kalinowski.
peg.
Get him, Mike. Get him, Mike.
Now, the champions chose not to have opponents and spinner's choice on there. So, you know Mike's looking for James Bond.
I think I saw Jim Henson on there. Let's get some Jim Henson.
Support him in that quest.
Let's have the
But
team
look,
titles
even if these
decided
guys spin
by
something that I think
currently
Shirewolves would be
fraud
great at, like a fantasy sci-fi
movies.
horror. I don't put it past Corruption to be able to get a lot of those answers right.
Well, it's starting to slow down.
It's looking like
Starting
Bond.
to slow down a little past it. And then where's it go?
It was literally the opposite of
The
Bond.
2000s.
The 2000s.
Well, there were some
Both
Bond
gentlemen,
movies in the
were alive
2000s.
during some of this decade.
Yeah. So they're going to spin
A
again.
couple.
There's the spin. That's it. All right, so whatever they get here, they got to choose. They got to take it. So they're spinning on the wheel here, too, and they're hoping for Bond. No, they're looking for Meryl
There's
Streep
the
also.
crowd chanting for Meryl Streep, who could not be here tonight, unfortunately, due to a prior
The only thing I
commitment.
think they're going to want to
Damn
not
shame.
get is horror, I think, if I was them. But here's it goes. It spins around. It's coming around.
Come on, Henson. Henson.
Meryl Streep.
Jim Henson.
Christian,
Jim,
I don't believe it.
oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Bond. They got it. Wow.
Oh, no.
Got Bond. And now they're going going to try. They're going to get 6 questions. I got in the realm of
I blow raspberries like a
just put a little more
like a
mustard
weed
in her
whacker.
spin of the wheel when she gets up there.
That's right, so spin it right off the hinge. All right, so we asked the challengers here. You got your questions ready?
go on
All
it.
right, here we
6
go.
questions.
Okay, 6 questions. First question. Name the film from the plot. James Bond investigates the hijacking of British and Russian submarines carrying nuclear warheads with the help of a KGB agent whose lover he killed.
Oh, that's the spy who
The Spy Who Loved
Yeah.
Me.
Correct for 2 points.
I was about to say the spy who shagged me. No,
All right,
wrong
so
franchise.
Second question, you're going to have 20 seconds to answer this question. John Glenn holds the record for directing the most James Bond films with how many entries to his name?
5.
That is correct.
You got 19 more seconds. You want to?
Yeah. You want to confer first, though?
Astronaut also
Yeah.
directed movies.
Question 3. Spectre opens with James Bond carrying out an unauthorized mission on the Day of the Dead in which Latin American city?
Mexico City. Think it over. It's a straightforward one.
Mexico City?
Yes.
2 more points, and they are perfect halfway through round number 2, as we
I actually like
expected
Spectre.
when they spun James
Spectre,
Bond.
I
Number
think
4.
gets a little bit more
In
hate than it
License to
deserves.
Kill, villain Franz Sanchez.
It's not
torments
Skyfall, I get
Felix
it, but
Leiter
I
by
still
having
think it's a good
what
movie.
type of animal attack him?
He's dangled over a shark tank.
That's correct.
With frickin' laser beams.
He brought up the all.
All right. Number 5. 2 questions left.
Frickin'.
Which James Bond movie marks the first appearance of John Cleese in the franchise? Five.
The World Is Not Enough.
That's correct.
Taking over for the great Desmond Llewellyn.
And your final question in this round. Final question. Which actress played Bond girl Tiffany Case in Diamonds Are Forever? 5, 4.
Multiple choice, please.
A, Jill Ireland. B, Jane Seymour. C, Jill St. John. D, Maude Adams.
Jill St. John.
For 1 point. All right, so what a round they're doing what they do. They've been getting Bond lately, and they got it again. And now Clark Wolf hits the wheel, spinning as she has been. And a big round of applause.
The
And
last
here's that
time
spin. The
Clark
last
Wolf
spin of Clark
spun the
Wolf's
wheel.
career, and there it is.
She waved bye-bye to that wheel.
Yeah, maybe she got one more spin, maybe, depending on
Go
where
out
it
in
lands.
style.
But this is
Kill
the
the
last time
wheel.
we will see
What they
Clark
gonna do?
Wolf spinning this
Fire
There's
ya?
some to that as she says goodbye to the wheel.
And she's looking for horror. Can the wheel? What a relationship the wheel and Clark Wolf have had.
It's
over the
taken
last
many
3 years.
turns, you would say?
Yeah. Oh, and look at it.
Oh, and they almost hit
Drama.
hard. So dramas.
Looking at each
They're
other.
studying
about it.
the wheel.
They're
They're
going to
gonna
go
take
for
dramas.
it. Going for dramas.
Settling for dramas.
All right, they're going to go for dramas here, Mark.
And that is what we like around here at the movie Trivia Schmoedown. All right,
Drama.
you have spun dramas, so you win 6 questions. Each one worth 2 points. Your first of 6 in the 2016 film The Lost City of Z. Who stars as British soldier and explorer Percy Fawcett?
Charlie Hunnam.
Great set of abs on that gentleman. 2 points.
And apparently in a god-awful King Arthur movie.
Next question for 2 more. In Good Will Hunting, what phrase does Sean tell Will didn't apply to him when his wife was sick and in the hospital?
Shoot.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, doctor's orders, B, visiting hours, C, court order, or D, operating hours?
Visiting hours.
Does not apply to Robin Williams. That's a point. All right, your next question, making it the halfway point in round of number 2. In the 2015 film Brooklyn, Saoirse Ronan plays a young woman who emigrated to New York from what country?
Ireland.
2 more points for the Shirewolves. Starting to suspect that everybody up there knows a little something about cinema.
It looks like it.
I think
Are
they
you
all have one of those
sure?
legal passes.
That's right. Question number 4.
Question number 4. 2 more points. Who plays Shailene Woodley's love interest in the 2014 film The Fault in Our Stars?
Ansel Elgort.
Looks like a young Val Kilmer, and that's 2 more points.
How do you know
All right,
this
so
stuff?
the Shirewolves have made it competitive, at least in round number 2, but they have 2 more questions remaining, and that can pull them to it into of corruption. Your penultimate question in round number 2. Who plays young Marcus in the 2002 comedy drama About a Boy?
Nicholas Holt.
This is, I mean, both of them. This is why they're up there and we're over here.
And why I'm here 3,000 miles away from LA.
Question for the Shirewolves in round number 2 to pull within a possible 2 points of corruption. In Michael Radford's film 1984, based on the George Orwell novel, who played the lead role of Winston Smith?
Multiple choice.
Is it A. John Hurt, B. Richard Burton, C. F. Murray Abraham, or D. Christopher Lambert?
D.
Cut the lead to 3.
John Hurt.
They have cut the lead to 3.
1 more point. So what a round by the Wolves.
That's impressive.
And Corruption
I heard them whispering, and they said that they weren't sure.
lead as
So
we
that
go
was a
into round
that was a
number 3,
complete
and look,
guess.
Exactly that, because Mike hit Bond, but
Yeah.
the Shirewolves fought right back, stuck with drama.
Were you
and now
surprised they spun drama?
they stuck with drama?
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit, but then I saw that's what they do so well.
I mean, I'm looking at horror. I'm looking at fantasy sci-fi. That is what has always impressed me about them over the years, is that they can spin any category and just run ramshackle right through it. It does not have to be something that they – but all credit goes to Corruption and Mike Kalinowski, because you can talk a big game with James Bond movies, and Chance got a lot of those questions right, too. They were able to pay off they wrote the ego that their body cast with the check.
Both teams playing very strong together. Now we get into the betting round number 3. How's it go, Mark?
The betting round, the whiteboard.
Eyes are starting to get heavy. We still got
come back
3 rounds to
for a little
go.
bit here in the movie trivia Schmoedown, because this is known as the betting round. The winning team at the moment is Corruption, so they will have a spin at the wheel in just a minute. Once you spin
I
a
bet
category, one
0.1,
question
2,
will be
3,
asked
4, 5
to the
points.
field. This question can be of a point value of the team's choosing. It can be worth as many as 3 points. It can be worth as little as 0 points. Once you see what category is spun, please write down your wager from 0 to 3 on the whiteboard.
I wrote 5.
To one of our
I just did a
judges
Monty
or to
Python.
us at the answer desk.
I wrote.
And
I
then
said
we will
5
ask
instead of
questions.
3.
The question is
1,
asked. The team
2,
may
5,
confer, and then
3.
write down the answer on the whiteboard.
So we'll go.
Keep in mind, if you get the answer right, you
I will
gain
wager
as many points as you wagered. If you get the question wrong,
0.12543
you lose
points.
that many points. So when Corruption is ready, you may elect a representative to have one more spin at the wheel that has been kind to you in this match.
Select a selective representative.
Hit the wheel once again. He's been lucky at that wheel.
That's right.
Looks like those are the designated spinners. And that is the last spin of the wheel here ever. And the last time we ever see a Shirewolves match, that's the last spin of the wheel.
The last spin of the wheel, if it's been James Bond, the studio will burn down.
And they spin.
Here it comes, round and round.
Jim Henson, come on. Jim.
Mike and Clark
No.
did some good spins on that.
It is, but what's it going to land on here? It looks like it's drama again.
Hey, we're happy to.
I would have took even Pixar.
All right, so drama here, and so the teams are going to write their questions down here with the category.
That's right.
Drama, excuse me, their points down, and here we go.
What would you wager in drama? 0 to 3? Back in the day?
Yeah, it depends on what it was.
I'd go 3 points. What the hell?
All right.
I've lived a good life.
That's fine.
Can see the point? Okay, we have the Shirewolves. The pick is in, and the pick is in for Corruption as well. So the wagers have been placed. Christian, when you are ready, read your best dramatic question in your best dramatic
Blackjack.
All right, here we go.
Oh, wait, wrong game.
All right, so in the category of drama, in the film Drumline, who plays Dr. Lee, who is head of the band?
Oh, Jesus.
Some applause in the crowd for Drumline.
Yeah.
Favorite drummer of all time?
What's that?
Would it be
Densmore.
John Densmore?
Yeah,
from The Doors?
5, 4.
Well, that was a waste of time.
3, 2.
Go with Keith Moon.
1. All right, we start with the Shirewolves. How many points?
We bet 2.
You bet 2, and you said?
Orlando Jones.
And how many points for Corruption?
2.
And you said?
Orlando Jones.
Also correct. So Shirewolves actually gained there.
At least you didn't say Orlando Jordan.
So it is now
Wrestling joke.
25-28.
Probably two people in my video reactions will get that.
well-contested match, and it's going to come down to the wire. I mean, 28-25.
Even most diehard wrestling
fans
fans
are
are like,
you and
"Oop,
I got excited to call this match.
yeah.
You know? We were working hard today. You did Collider Live.
Yep,
I
I
took
did.
an extended nap, watched some more
I worked
Mindhunter, and we
very
prepared for
hard.
this thing tonight.
Thank you
hope
for
it's going
asking.
to be a good match. You can never bet on what exactly is going to turn out, but so far, as well played as we possibly could have hoped for. And now we go on to round number 4. But before we get to that, we want to remind everybody out there of some upcoming live events, including next weekend. We are going to be in the Big Apple, New York City, August 31st. The movie Trivia Schmoedown is back live. We got New York, then we got Arizona, then we got Orlando, where I will be naked at a water park.
Well, that's not true, but we do have also a couple codes here, don't we?
We do.
So tell them.
We do. Why don't you buy me some time? And I'll
Oh,
look
buy
up
us
what
some
that
time.
code
All right,
is.
we'll come back over after the 4th round.
The
fourth
promo
round
code is Shirewolves. You can get tickets for any live event right now, Orlando or New York. Enter the promo code Shirewolves in the next 24 hours, and you get a sweet discount. The code is Shirewolves.
I believe it's a 2-for-1 right now. So here
Well, I'm
we
guessing
go.
by the time this airs, that
But
won't
go
be on
ahead
the
and
thing.
Read the rules here for the speed round.
This is the buzzer round. This is
I
the
guess
lightning round.
I guess
As
I can
Christian
worry
said,
about
it is
cutting all
the
that out.
speed round. It is a test of wits, guile, and then movie trivia know-how. Once Christian Harloff asks a question at the desk, that question is going to be worth 1 point. The question is asked to the field. However, because you have buzzers in front of you, whoever buzzes in first and their buzzer lights up green, I will say your first name. Once I complete saying your first name, you have exactly
get more
2
comfortable.
seconds. We go 1 Mississippi.
So I'm now
2
sitting
Mississippi.
Indian
If
style
you get the
because
question correct within
that's
that
so
time
much more
frame,
comfortable.
your team gets a point. If you get the question wrong or you're not able to complete
Plus,
your
I'm a damn
answer
near
by the time the 2
33-year-old
seconds is up,
man. I still
your
know how to
team
sit Indian
loses a
style.
point. Keep in mind, if
My
you buzz in,
legs
it is
still out.
you and only you. You may not rely on the knowledge of your teammate once you buzz in. Now, because this is the buzzers and this is electronic, we like to do a little test run. So everybody out there watching right now, this is how we test stuff around the movie Trivia Schmoedown. We just say F it, and we do it live. So, Clark, I'm going to ask you a question
Thanks,
first. It's going to be
Bill.
a pretty easy one to answer, and I want you to buzz in and then say your answer. So, Clark, where is the movie Trivia Schmoedown going live next week?
What?
What city?
Name a city on the East Coast.
What's first, though?
Clark.
New York.
Yay!
There we go. Looks like we've been
Huh?
practicing this all day. All right, Rachel, name the football team that has as its quarterback Tom Brady.
The mother effing Patriots.
That is correct. Just got it in under the gun there.
Don't do it.
All right.
Don't
Who's
do
the
it.
greatest
Mike
interdiction player of all
Just say
time?
it.
Just tell me your favorite Indiana Jones movie after you buzz in. Mike.
Temple of Doom.
All right. Accept that.
I'm a Last
And
Crusade guy.
Chance Ellison.
I have
in
to
under
concede.
2 seconds, once you buzz in, it is nighttime. Why are you wearing sunglasses, young man?
Because I can.
Okay, under 2 seconds. So
Okay.
we're ready to go.
And we are ready to go. And to let everybody know, just so if you do put in that code of Shirewolves, it is $7 off any ticket, and that's both.
Trying to give them away 2 for 1. Look at Bob Cratchit over here. Scrooge has to tell you, it's just $7 off.
$7 off. Okay. All right. So we ask.
And
we
you
ask
have
the
to report
champions
on
first.
Christmas
You ready?
Day.
Yes.
Challengers, are you ready?
All right, we do ask the crowd to try to hold your applause until the end of the speed round. 5 questions. Christian will be reading all 5 questions. I will be saying the name for all 5 questions at your ready, sir.
Here we go. The 1996 comedy Kingpin revolves around
Bowling.
Bowling.
Rachel.
Correct.
There we go.
Which sport?
There we go.
Yes.
Good guess.
All right. Which film stars the following actors? Val Kilmer, Michael Rappaport, Dennis Hopper, Brad Pitt, Gary Oldman, Sam Jackson.
Rachel.
True Romance.
Yes. Third question. Name the movie from this quote. Oh, this is going to be fun. We can stay up late, swapping manly stories. and
Oh,
in the
Shrek.
morning-
Shrek.
Chance.
Shrek.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he had said it
Yeah,
while
he
I
said
said
it.
his name.
Yeah. Okay. Remember to wait till Mark says your name before you answer.
Sorry.
Question 4. Who plays linguist Louise Banks in Arrival?
Chance.
Amy Adams.
Yes.
So Corruption back to a 3-point lead. One more question remains.
Final question. Who directed 1991's Point Break?
Chance.
Catherine Bigelow.
Yes. Chance came on. Rachel
Wow.
started strong.
That's
Chance
right.
finished it up there, hitting the last 3. So now KOrruption sees himself with a 4-point lead.
That's the biggest lead they've had going into any round here tonight, Christian, as they go into round number 5. Chance really, I don't want to say it was a proverbial passing of the torch, but Rachel coming on early. No competitor missed a question in the speed round. That's impressive in its own right.
Well, now, because of that, we get to the 5th and final round, the championship round.
Well, it's not really a championship round because this round's in, well, this style round is in every other match.
Go ahead. How does it go?
Technically, 3 and 4 are the
for
championship
6 more
rounds.
questions in
Because they're
round
only
number 5.
in championships.
This is how it works.
Matches.
This is how we determine our winner and who will be holding the belt.
It's just round
at
5
the
is a
end in the
championship
post-match interview. Each team.
I
is
never
gonna
understood
give
that
3
record.
questions.
Or
We get
that-
these
that
questions from you. You
thing.
give us a series of numbers.
Because I'm
that can range
stupid,
from 0
don't you know?
to 20. Each number you give us corresponds to a different corner of movie trivia Schmoedown know-how. Your first question is going to be worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 points because this is the team match. Once we tell you the category for the 2-point question, the team will decide which member is going to answer individually. You may not rely on your teammate for the 2-point question. When we get to the 3-point question, the opposite team member will have to answer that question individually. And then when we get to the 5-pointer, the teams may collaborate only on that question. There is no penalty for missing a question in round number 5.
All right, so we asked the challengers here who have a 4-point lead. For
One
their
cool
three
feature
numbers
I wish
between
that they
1
would
and 20.
consider for a rule change,
This is always tough for some people.
that
12 and 14 for the challengers and for the
if
champions.
the team wants,
4, 8,
one
and
player
19.
can answer
4,
the 2
8,
and
and
3-pointer.
19 for the
However,
challengers
if they
who will
do
go
that,
first.
then the other person
All right,
has to answer the
so
5-pointer alone.
Shirewolves will start with category
Just throwing that out there,
number
just to
4.
add
Category
different
number 4
elements
for
to
the
it.
Shirewolves. All right, Shirewolves, the category, the 80s.
The 1980s.
1980s, not the 1880s.
Yes.
You stole my joke! Dave!
Okay, I will.
I have
take it.
used the 1880s joke.
Who stars as radio
I can
funny and
I can
funny
vouch
man
for that.
Adrian Cronair in Good Morning Vietnam
Robin Williams.
for 2 points.
Good morning, Vietnam.
All right, so now Rachel.
I have used the
Rachel
1880s
will
joke.
try to
That
tie
is
up
why
the
he
game
said that.
with category number 8.
Someone vouch for that on the Schmoedown desk.
You're right.
If we give her all 3 points.
That's right. Sorry. Like I said, 2% different. All right, Rachel. This is category 8, the 2010s.
Okay.
2010s.
Not the 2010s.
Who played Casey Affleck's nephew, Patrick, in Manchester by the Sea?
Lucas Hedges.
Yes. Okay.
Who?
All right. The Shirewolves have
I
gotten
trim
themselves out of
Hedges.
TKO territory. Now bounces to KOrruption, who has to hit their 2-pointer to force the Shirewolves to hit their 5-pointer, and they chose category number 2, Mark.
That's right.
Oh, they picked 2. They're going to win.
An unusual position
Darn
in this
it.
match, and in general in their time competing in the league, they are losing by 1. For their 2-point question, they have selected the category of classics. So is it Chance? Is it Mike? Whoever selects this category have to answer individually.
I'll take it.
Chance is going to take.
I'd rather get plastics.
All right, for 2 points, Chance, your question. Name the actor who co-directed as well as starred in Singin' in the Rain. This is for 2 points and the lead.
Stanley Donen.
Incorrect.
Wait, then that's challenge because Singing in the Rain was not written and directed, not starred and directed by the same person.
Co-directed. He said co-directed.
So are you challenging it?
Did he say
Is
co-directed?
that a
Would you like to use your challenge?
I didn't hear co-directed.
Did he?
That's fine.
I didn't hear him say that either.
We're not going
All right,
to
so they-
penalize them for taking a challenge.
So you missed.
It's been withdrawn.
Okay,
Ruling
so
for Gene Kelly.
There's the miss on that one.
Gene
All
Kelly.
right, so now we go to
I'd have to
Mike,
go back and rewatch
who's gotta hit
or
his
rewatch
3.
that.
Mike's
I
gotta hit
didn't
his
hear him say
3,
co-directed
which
either.
is category 12, which is category number 12. Okay.
All right. So number 12.
Yep.
Mike, you're going to be answering a question about Pixar movies.
Oh, God. And that's Chance's category.
All right. And your question is, what is the name of the grumpy keymaster and administrator to Scarefloor F in Monsters, Inc.?
Oh. Chance is face palming right now. I think it's Raz.
5, 4.
Louis.
Wow, looking
for
Roz.
Roz.
So now we're in a position here. We're in
Oh,
a position
Lord.
here that they need to hit their 5-pointer or the Shirewolves will retain the titles.
Here we go.
So category.
A little tense in here now, huh?
Category number 14 for corruption, correct? Is it number 14?
That's right. 14 for corruption. They trail by 1. However, if they get this question right, then they're going to be back in the lead by 4 and force the hand of the Shirewolves to answer their 5-point question. Right. Just another day in the neighborhood known as the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Corruption, number 14, corresponds to the category of romantic comedies. As I call them, rom-com.
Right.
Ram cams.
For 5 points. Your question, which you may confer with your teammate on. How does Mel Gibson get the power to hear women's thoughts in What Women Want?
He gets electrocuted in the bathtub.
Ladies and gentlemen, corruption is back on top.
All right. So now,
With 36, I think that would tie the points record.
Now
If
the
Shirewolves get this
have a
right,
chance to still win the game now.
break their
They
own
can win
record.
The game because of the 2 misses.
How do they do that?
All they have to do is hit their 5-pointer. If they hit the 5-pointer, they walk off into the sunset with the belts. However, if they miss, corruption are the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champions of the world.
And
the
us
chat's
at the
going
announce desk,
crazy.
It's Miller time either way because there is no chance of overtime.
No.
Yippee!
All right. Here we go. Your category, sorry, was number 19, 5-pointer. Here it is. In the film 12 Monkeys.
what's our
You
category?
need your
I didn't say it.
category.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Probably should have said that.
Yeah, it's one of the guys in that movie.
Yep. Let me go. Brad Pitt.
Brad
Brad
Pitt.
Pitt. Sorry. Brad Pitt.
He's an actor.
Yep.
Pretty successful one.
In 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who is actually behind the viral outbreak?
15 seconds, but keep in mind
They have all
they
three.
have all of their JTE rules, so this could get stretched out.
5, 4.
Repeat
3.
the question.
His first one. In 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who is actually behind the viral outbreak? They used 1 JTE rule so far.
They have 30 more seconds to use if they didn't.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Okay, second one. In 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who is actually behind the viral outbreak? They have 1 JTE rule left.
They're using all their JTE rules.
Yeah.
I want them to challenge too. Just
I
use,
know.
use everything in the chamber.
Let's get to it. What's going to happen? 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
Last one, and here it is. In 12 Monkeys, who plays Dr. Peters, who is actually behind the viral outbreak? 15 seconds
And all
to the end
corruption
of the
can
match.
do is wait.
We're going to find out. New champions, or do the Shirewolves walk off with the belts? And we find out in 5,
Shirewolves will ever have.
4, 3, 2, 1.
James Cromwell.
And your winners and new champions of the world, Mike Kalinowski, Rachel, Mike Kalinowski, Chance, Ellison, Corruption. The answer was David Morse. David Morse was the answer.
A great guess by the Shirewolves.
Yeah,
and
look at that moment. Look at that moment
It's
right
such a special passing of the torch from Rachel Cushing and Mike Kalinowski, from Clark and Rachel to Mike and Chance. The belts have been passed. The torch has been passed, but will never be extinguished is the light that the Shirewolves have left on this league.
Well, of course. What a fight. They went out fighting. They went out kicking. They went out,
Scrapping.
they were scrapping up to the very end. 5-pointer. And Corruption almost had one of the most historical collapses of all time in that 5th round.
That's right. And I love watching the Shirewolves play because you knew that they were not going to leave anything, no stone unturned. They were not going to leave JTE rules on the table. Nope. They did everything they could. That's how you play the game. You feel your way around it. You save your JTE rules for the end for that big 5-point question. They couldn't quite come up with a correct answer this time. But again, that should not diminish all of the correct answers that they've had over so many matches, over so many years in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Worthy champions having the torch passed to them now with Corruption.
No, and they fought their hearts out, and what a match it was. They scrapped, and there was, like I said, you look at, they did everything. Chance Ellison came to play today.
Boy, was he ready.
Chance Ellison came to play the perfect round in round number 1. Rachel Cushing was taking over that speed round, and then Chance took over the remainder of it. Chance Ellison, Mike Kalinowski was the MVP of that Founding Fathers match. Chance Ellison was the MVP of this match.
That's right. Chance even pitching in with some of the James Bond category questions. Chance throwing a perfect round number 1. You know, the kid drove from Arizona today. When I drive to Arizona, that's 6 hours. I immediately get to the hotel room. I sit in the bathroom for 20 minutes, and I take a nap. This kid got out of the car and answered a whole bunch of movie trivia Schmoedown questions correctly and earned a big belt because of it.
Look historically, and I'm sure Emma's going to be talking to them in just a moment, but historically, Chance Ellison is now the youngest champion we've ever had.
What is he, 14?
21. And Mike Kalinowski is now the 3rd double-belted champion, and he's got himself a match with Ben Bateman tomorrow to try to get himself to that Mikey 3 belts. But we are going to throw to Emma Fife, who is with the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champions, Corruption.
Thanks, Christian. For a second there, I thought you were going to say Mike Kalinowski is now the oldest double-belted champion we've ever had. Oh, that's okay. We all know Roka's the oldest champion we've ever had here in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown.
212 going strong.
We are here with Corruption, the new Movie Trivia Schmoedown Tag Team Champions. Not really tag team. There's not a lot of tagging unless, you know, Chance, though, was doing a good job with, you know, tagging in on those buzzers there. I mean, Chance, very impressive job considering it was your first time ever playing in a speed round.
Thank you very much. I practiced this a lot for like several hours.
I understand. They're a little finicky, those buzzers. And Mike, you must be feeling pretty good there with that double weight on your shoulder, kind of evening things out.
It feels very good. It really does. And to get these belts in the manner that I did, you know, I've said everything I've said about Rachel, so it's a little bittersweet. You know,
It feels appropriate that, you know, both of Rachel's last matches were indeed against you, and both were really incredible. I mean, you know, you guys have to be feeling pretty proud of your performance considering, like, the Shirewolves, I mean, there's a reason that they were the team champions for so long.
We were going to lose there at the end. It was over. I mean, we both sat there and he goes, well, we got that many points where we did that well. And it's the way it goes. You know, we usually would have done, I would have done the 2-point, he would have done the 3-point. I knew Gene Kelly and he would have gotten that Pixar question easily. Yeah. It's the way it goes. You know, but, you know, people were talking last game how I had that perfect game, and they were cutting on this guy, and this guy he took this match. It was his match that won these belts for us. It was all on this guy. Couldn't be proud of my teammates. You know, I said this at the beginning. I want these belts. I want to intergeek him. I wanted him to have his first belt. We got that. I'm going for that 3rd belt. I
mean, we will have to see how that goes for you. And yes, Chance, aside from round 3, you pitched a perfect game, so...
Yeah, I mean, it feels good. It feels really good. What else do you want from me?
I would like you to take your sunglasses off, please, because I'm not entirely sure you have eyeballs behind there, because I've never...
I don't think you have the authority to make that call, Emma. I don't think you do.
I think I will have it again very, very soon, though. Oh. And I think my first degree as commissioner when I am back in business is no more sunglasses. Thank you, Ken Napzok, for showing some class and immediately abiding. And so this is another big step for you guys towards total corruption domination.
Well, yes, it is. We are very excited about this, but the celebration here is muted. We'll be partying later in a downtown Burbank Hilton. But I'll tell you what. This is what this league is about and what it has grown to. It is not about destroying the past. It is about the past building where we are now. When this started, when Clark and Rachel were breaking barriers and coming in and becoming the league, young fans all around, like Chance, were sitting there dreaming, looking out their bus windows, thinking about the glory they one day reach. And look where we are now. It is a passing of the guard. I'm from the old pro wrestling world. This is what you do. Andre to Hulk, Hulk to Ultimate Warrior, Rock to Cena. This is what you do. You pass the baton. We are happy to take it. Corruption is about truth and destiny, but right now it is about respect for the legends that have come before us. Rachel, Clark, we're going to miss you. Come around to our party, though. We throw a good one.
I have a feeling that invitation is up for debate. And I have to say that, Grace Hancock, you are definitely a common denominator when it comes to factions having a lot of success in this league here. So,
well, Emma, thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate that. As I've said many times, everything that I touch is gold. And you know what? Look, no hate on two ladies doing a great job. You know what I mean? I love seeing that, but sure.
Sure.
But there's also a time and a place, and out with the old and in with the new.
I mean, that's definitely a new team in the league and a new era here on the Movie Trivia Schmoedown. Thank you again to all of you, Corruption. I feel like there's usually more of you, but it's very tight squeeze here.
There's two more. They're at the hotel warming the champagne.
Got it. Warming the champagne? I don't think I want to go to this party anymore.
We drink everything warm.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Corruption. We will be back in just a moment with Clark and Rachel, the Shirewolves.
All right, Mark. So, look, you got the new team champions, and they had
like
to earn
that
it
warm
against
champagne.
The Shirewolves. They really have to earn it. Chance Ellison, the youngest champ. Mike is
Yum,
a
yum, yum,
double
yum, yum,
belted
yum.
champion with the potential to be a triple belted champion. So they're having a hell of a year here. They beat the Founding Fathers. They are now the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champions, but they really had to fight for it. And we are going to be able to hear from and talk. I want to know what's going on with the former champs, and just to say thank you.
Just to hear their thoughts as they say goodbye to the league, as they reflect on this match, they reflect on all the matches. I think, dare I say, they're going to have better parting words than we're about to go drink warm champagne.
That's right. All right, so let's get to Emma Fife, the former manager of the Shirewolves, who's with the former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Team Champions, the Shirewolves.
That's right, Mark. Not a tall order to top hot champagne. Can't say that's really got a lot of appeal to it, but some people who will always have appeal and legacy here in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown are the Shirewolves, the former team champions. Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing. I don't know if you guys can't see, but there's a standing ovation here in the studio. I mean, what is there to be said other than going into this match? It was truly win or lose, nothing but a victory lap.
I totally agree. I mean, honestly, we came, we played, we had a good time, and we took it down to the wire. And I feel really good about that. I think we made up ground that we had lost earlier in the game. We communicated, we worked hard, we had some good pulls. My buddy Orlando Jones, I love you. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. Like, it really does. It feels like a victory lap, honestly. They played so well, so well. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah, this is the kind of, we want every championship match, whether we play in them or not, to be like this. You want them to be fights. You want people to have the drive and the heart to play the best that they can play. And what are you supposed to do when Kalinowski gets Bond? What are you supposed to do when Chance steps out and has a perfect first round? Like, these guys came to play and they're legit competitors and they are the future of the league. And we're really proud of how we played today. You know, it sucks to lose, it does, and we came to fight, and we fought as hard as we could given what we had, and we're both really proud of that fight and just proud of everything that we've done so far.
Yeah, I mean, when a match comes down to a final question, especially when you had a couple times in there where you were coming in from behind, it really was... I mean, this is the stuff the championship matches are made of, for sure.
Absolutely. I mean, we didn't make it easy for them. And they didn't make it easy for us, too. So it was a great match.
Now, obviously, this is your final match ever here in the Schmoedown, as you are both headed towards retirement. But I just want to say, as somebody who formerly was your manager, just what a huge... Just what a huge impact you guys had on this league, and how special it was to me to be there for the first time that you guys won those team belts, and the first time that, you know, women held belts in sort of the regular league outside of Intergeekdom. Much props to Mara for getting that belt, but and the effect that I have seen you guys have on just
the Schmoedown community as a whole, particularly like the young women, some of them very young, I'm talking like 7 years old, who watch the Schmoedown and who see you guys play and think, wow, I want to do that someday. Like, I could be Clark and Rachel, and I could, you know, have a belt in this weird thing that we do that's somewhere between wrestling and like bar trivia. So I just want to say that I am so proud of everything that you guys have accomplished. And, you know, even though you didn't actually win this match, you are still the team champions in my book.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Emma, honestly, the truth is, we could not have done what we did without you as our manager. Like, end of story, absolutely. We would not be here without you. You pulled everything together. Mark, you completed this quadrant. and truly, you know, at the end of the day for me, I am so happy that we have, that maybe we have impacted and inspired young women, women of all ages. However, I'm also proud that the young men who are watching this game are seeing women win. And, and they're seeing us just as scrappy, just as passionate, just as fierce. And that's great, because that means we can all play. And yeah, so thank you.
I don't really know if I can follow that, but Clark always drops the mic in, and always in a spectacular way. And yeah, we're very proud to be the league for as long as we were, and very excited to pass the torch. But thank you to everybody. And you know, 2.5 years ago, I never in a million years would have guessed this is where I'd be standing, or that anybody would look up to me for any reason. So that's been a huge thing, and I love all four of you. I love everybody in this room. Thank you for being here for our last go.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Now, don't go away, because we are going to be having a tribute to the Shirewolves. We're going to make our way back over to the main desk in just a moment here, and say some more goodbyes and sing Clark and Rachel's praises. I know there are a few other people that want to chime in here. So while we get set up for that, back to you, Mark and Christian at the desk.
All right, so Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing saying exactly the type of powerful words that they've been known to do in the past, and what a goodbye it was. And they did exactly what we thought that they would do. They went out fighting, Mark, right to the wire.
They went out fighting, and while Corruption's after party may be at the Burbank Hilton, the Shirewolves party is going to be happening on the airwaves, on modems, on the interwebs, heretofore, because their legacy, their ability, their greatness will never be forgotten. And I echo Emma's sentiment where I said there's so many young people out there watching thinking that they could be the next Rachel or Clark. Well, there's a lot of people that are going to come into this league that may be great. There will never be another Clark Wolf. There will never be another Rachel Cushing. There's never going to be another Shirewolf.
Well said, Mark. And look, one of the things that we want to do, and I don't even think the Shirewolves knew that we were going to do this, I'd like to address everybody's attention to the video monitor over there. Once again, our amazing editor, Eric, put together this piece. This is a piece for you guys to see, for the Shirewolves to see. This is a tribute to one of the greatest teams that we've ever seen here, the Shirewolves, Clark and Rachel. Here we go.
And what would your parting words be to them once they have hung it up?
I hadn't even thought about that. Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing aren't just Schmoedown players, they are trailblazers.
I mean, legends. And, you know, sometimes I think that word gets thrown out very easily sometimes, but not in the case with both Rachel and Clark.
Clark and Rachel, both in their own right, have exemplified the best parts of this game.
I think as individuals, they're pretty similar in that they're very intelligent women.
They're two of my dearest friends that I've made since I've come to Schmoedown. Two very fiery competitors.
Clark Wolf is somebody who emerged as a Schmoedown competitor who, proved that, she was just as good at this as, say, a Mark Riley or even a Dan Murrell. I mean, she went toe-to-toe with him a number of times.
I love that she was just always truly, purely herself.
When you're watching a Clark Wolf match, you know for a fact you're about to watch a really fun match.
She's been one of those competitors that I've watched grow, not only as a competitor, but as a person. And I think that change is just so abundantly clear, even in her interviews and the way that she carries herself now.
Whereas Clark Wolf has always been a very natural camera presence, Rachel got comfortable in front of the camera, in front of our eyes. And we saw her evolve into someone who wasn't just great at movie trivia, but who was great at putting on a show and who was great at inspiring people.
My first IG match that I watched was a match with Rachel in it, and as soon as I saw that, I thought to myself, that is where I belong.
I look up to Rachel so incredibly much. I'm very similar to her in the aspect that we both used to work behind the scenes a lot, so being in front of the camera is very off-putting.
Rachel has always been a huge inspiration for me as someone who didn't really come from an acting or performance background.
Seeing Rachel become one of the great superstars of the league has been a source of great inspiration to me, personally.
There's a strong argument to be made that Rachel is the most knowledgeable player that's ever played Schmoedown.
Rachel, to me, is the best player to ever play Schmoedown, hands down.
I mean, I've said this before, I'll say it till the day I die. Rachel is the greatest intergeekdom, greatest player of all time, not just intergeekdom. She is singles, teams, and intergeekdom. No one does that but her.
If you told me that Rachel was like the number 3, number 4 person on Mount Rushmore, I wouldn't argue.
But it was Clark Wolf who saw her answering questions on the side and said, you got to get her a match.
It's Rachel Cushing. Teaming up with another powerhouse woman was absolutely a goal of mine.
Clark, she was a top-tier player forever. She was playing in big match after big match, and she never quite got there, and it took finally to be on the Shirewolves for her to break through and get that gold.
When she came out with Rachel as the Shirewolves, it was just one of the most amazing moments of seeing these two titans come together to form this massive juggernaut of a team.
Knowing that they were individually so strong and then they became a team, I just remember thinking, there's no one going to beat them.
Each of them have different strengths, and they both kind of perfectly fit, like two puzzle pieces.
I think that's kind of what you need for a team to really succeed. It's not just about what you know, it's about how you complement each other, your strengths and weaknesses.
Rachel is more afraid of the game, but she has that knowledge, and Clark has that theater background, so she's an absolute performer, and she, of course, has a ton of knowledge as well.
Clark's fierceness and her showmanship and her experience in the game, coupled with Rachel's incredibly broad base knowledge, I think that's where you really find this perfect match.
They're not like, hey, we're not really friends, we show up for these matches and we play well together. They've formed this friendship.
They're people you want to surround yourself with. They're the kind of friends you want to have. They're the kind of teammate you want to have.
You see it on the fan leagues, and you see these little girls. That one guy posted a picture. Was he in Japan or China? And it was this kid. He's he learned English through the Schmoedown, and Rachel's his favorite. It's like she's touching people all over the world.
I had the privilege of calling a match in one of the fan leagues, the fan league that is in the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon Discord. 4 girls aged 7 to 13. One of the little Mariano girls, Zoe, said, can I ask you something, Emma? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And she's like, can you tell Clark and Rachel that I say hi? And then it was all just this chorus of these kids going, oh, tell them we say hi too. They represent the fact that women have a place in this league, and that really the people who matter, they look at Clark and Rachel as the example of what this league can really be, where you have these people that you can root for, these women who are such great role models to young girls, to the point that they're the first child match ever, as far as I know, in anything Schmoedown adjacent was between 4 little girls, and that's because of Clark and Rachel.
Rachel, Clark, the Shirewolves, you are truly legends. Thank you for everything you've done for everyone in the community.
We're bringing you a special message specifically to Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing. That would be thank you.
I don't tend to get many things right. However, one thing I've been very proud to have been right about over the years is that when the two of you formed this team known as the Shirewolves, I knew from the very beginning we were in for something very, very special.
I will say it's been my complete honor and privilege to watch the both of you compete due to your hard work, determination, competitive spirit.
They are equal to and excelling of any other team in the league, male, female, alien, or otherwise.
You really were great players and you deserved all the hype that you got.
The best team in the Schmoedown, the Shirewolves.
The Shirewolves, Rachel Cushing and Clark Wolf, they inspired people.
And that's basically what the Shirewolves are. They are heroes.
I, from Indonesia, know the Schmoedown and are impacted by them.
And I know how hard it is to be in the league and to put yourself out there, and you guys did that, and I am so happy for it.
It taught me how to be more self-reliant, how to be more confident, and how to put myself out there and take chances.
There's something to be said about seeing yourself in any media that you consume, and for me, that was always Clark and Rachel.
I want to thank you for everything that you've done.
I just wanted to say thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I love and respect you both. Thank you. Thank you guys for everything for now.
I can't say it enough. Thank you both so very much from everybody here at Dedicated Art.
Shirewolves, we here at the Call to Action podcast, we salute you.
They proved they were the league, they are the league, they will always be the league, and for that, I am forever grateful.
Let that sink in. I know you guys are leaving, you're retiring, but just let it sink in what your legacy has been.
But I will guarantee you this. There will be no one, no fan of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, past, present, or future, who will ever forget the name, the Shirewolves.
If I were younger and could watch something like this and could see people who looked like me have the same passions as me and be recognized for those passions and be welcomed for those passions, I think that is super, super important. And I think showing that we are on the level with anybody is really something to be proud of.
Representation matters, and they are legitimately good women, good people, and they should inspire people. They inspire me. Playing with them, being on the Fight Club with them was a huge privilege.
God, all those times with Rachel. The belt winning was great, but it was hugging her and giving her the belt that one time when she won it. I don't want to see them retire, because they're my friends, and I have a blast with them, and I love them.
I couldn't have asked to lose in those big moments to a greater team.
It was an honor to play in the era of Clark and Rachel.
I'm glad to say that I know them. I'm proud to say that I know them.
I just want to say thank you to them for paving the way for me and other ladies who have come after them to feel like they can shine just as brightly.
You've been an inspiration for so many people, me included.
And it's more than just the Schmoedown. It's more than just trivia. It really matters to people out there, and I think that I really want to say thank you to them.
They've earned every bit of respect they have, and I consider them the greatest.
Anybody that tries to say that Clark and Rachel didn't earn every bit of success that they've had in this league is wrong. You absolutely earned everything you got, but you also deserved it from the start.
Don't come back. I want to win my belt back. I want to hold on to it. Don't need you guys around for that. If you do come back, hopefully it's as my manager or something like that, because I'm sure I can learn a lot from the two of you queens.
I hope that they'll still be around in some capacity around here, because this league needs their voices.
You hear it all the time. I want to do what Clark did. I want to do what Rachel. Oh yeah, I don't know if I can be as good as Rachel was in that. I don't know if I can be as good as Clark was with that. And that's what players always going to try to be that. But I think that they'll also open up the door for many other women and many other competitors coming here for what their accomplishments have done.
For this moment in time and for this era of the Schmoedown, they were the league.
There has never been a team like you before. There will never be a team like you again. All I can think to say is grow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, Team Champions, Legends, and future Hall of Famers, Clark Wolf, Rachel Cushing, I thank you so much for everything that you've done for this league, and we'll see you soon.
Well, there you have it, Christian. Such a great piece put together by Eric Rodriguez of Nerd Chronic, the Shirewolves.
That was amazing.
Great vid by so many fans, so many fellow competitors, the chairman himself in that vid. I was not able to appear in that vid I had an arraignment. So what I would do instead is just give my 2 cents right now, and that from the bottom of my Rocky Mountain cold dead heart, I would just say that the Shirewolves have proven to me that this is a guy who thought once you turn 22, you're just done making new friends. And with this league and what these two ladies have proven in general is that you can be colleagues with somebody, you can start working with somebody can be in a competitor in a league, and you can actually forge a lifelong friendship with them. And that's what the Shirewolves mean to me. They represent the spirit of community that the Schmoedown has brought to us, to fans, to people all over the world. And so I say thank you as well to the Shirewolves.
Absolutely. Well said. Yeah, I mean, I've known Rachel Cushing for a very long time now, and same with Clark Wolf, way before this thing was even a thing, and before it was the league. And I remember being on the movie talk set with Clark Wolf and telling her, yeah, we did this trivia thing on Schmo. It's really fun. She's like, well, I want to play. I want to, let me play right away. And I was like, all right, let's see how you are. And she's just crushing it on the table. I'm like, yes, you will play right away.
It's like, but you got to have the zany intro. Can you pull that off?
Oh, boy, did she ever. And like I said, it was Clark Wolf who really brought it. I knew Rachel Cushing, but it was Clark Wolf who grabbed me by the shoulder and said, you have to have Rachel play immediately. And thank God she did just that, because look what we got. Look at what they meant to so many people. And so we also have a lot of players in the studio here today that wanted to say some words to the Shirewolves. So once again, I wanted to bring the attention to the desk. There are the former champs, the Shirewolves, one more time as they are here. Now, we are going to have you guys there. What we're going to do is we're just going to basically have people come up and tell you just how great you are, because we have so many players here, people here that want to come out. And if somebody I wanted to grab somebody real quick behind the curtain that's going to come out, someone who wasn't in the video that wants to say something that actually you guys have never had an opportunity to throw those jabs in the game, but he wants to say some words. Ladies and gentlemen, the outlaw, John Roca, is here.
The outlaw, he's competing in a match.
They asked me to come out here because I wasn't on that damn video. So I got something to say. First of all, you two have been incredible. What a run. What it's been like to watch. Having been a champion, watching other champions, watch them form from the start to the finish has been incredible. Rachel, I'll say this. I remember on the Schmoes No Show when you were first announced, and I gave you all kinds of shit about it because I said, we'll see what you like once the lights turn on, right? And I was trying to toughen you up before you got out here on the set because I saw and I knew, like everyone else saw when they first saw you, the potential of what you could be. So it's incredible. And I know aside off the set, the stuff you encounter and go through so that you can do this. So the fans should definitely give an extra special thank you to Rachel for the stuff that she goes through so she can be here and perform and inspire so many people. That's not easy. That's not easy. So you've earned it. Congratulations. You've left a legacy, a hell of a legacy, and you belong on that Rushmore. You belong on that Rushmore. Speaking of Rushmore, Clark Wolf, what can we say? You've been incredible. I think everybody has said it already, how you laid the groundwork, how you really kind of took this thing to the next level. And what you said, we are the league. That matters on so many levels to so many people. Male, female, minority, whatever. Age, whatever. It means a lot. It means the league can be anyone, and that's fantastic. We've never played each other. Somehow we've always found a way to miss each other. So enjoy your retirement for now. But if I ever win that damn belt, I will show up at your work, at anything you host, and I will challenge you for the title because I can't be complete till I play Clark Wolf, win or lose, as one of the originals. Back at you as one of the originals. Thank you both so much for everything you've done.
Thank you to the outlaw, John Roca, coming in here too.
John Roca adhering to proper wedding decorum, keeping his speech tight.
Yeah. And now, the original kind of class that Clark came up with, we've got someone else who came up with Clark Wolf and has a lot of history with Clark Wolf, and that is the former two-time movie trivia Schmoedown champ, Yodi. Mark Riley is here.
Oh, wow.
this league is not the movie trivia Schmoedown League without you guys. This is a hard day for me, for a lot of people. I love you both dearly. You have done something that I knew would always happen in this league. You would show everybody that you are the best. And I was happy enough to be on the other side of that loss of mine. But I was so overwhelmed and happy when you defended the belt and shut everybody up. Because there's a conversation happening about the Patriots and the Shirewolves. The Patriots, hell of a run. And you guys. So for me, if I were to pick the best team of all time, it's you guys, hands down. For everything, what you've done for the league, the classiness you brought, how you crushed your opponents. I just marveled at it and was unfortunately on the other side of it. But I wouldn't change a thing. And so I'm going to miss you both. Rachel, I've watched you grow so much in this league, from being on the side, everybody's told the stories, being on the side and answering all the questions, and Clark, you saying you got to put her in the league, and me saying, oh shit, here we go. It's been wonderful to watch. I'm going to miss you dearly, Rachel. It's in inner geekdom, singles, teams, it's not going to be the same. Clark, holy shit, Clark. We have the best history. And even though Shirewolves is the best team, obviously, I will always have a special place in my heart for you. You were one of the first. I feel like I was with you always in the league when it started. We did the teams together. We had a pretty good run there.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good run.
Pretty good.
And so with a heavy heart, watching you leave the league is tough for me as well. So I have to do something for nostalgia, even though Shirewolves, best team ever. Special place in my heart. Wolves of Steel. Love you both. I'm available.
So we're going to have two more sets come out here to say goodbye.
And I just got word, I'm just looking at this right now. Yes. As far as Shire Wolf members, yes. Mark Baby Carrots Ellis is actually 1-0 against them.
Is that true? That's not true.
Yeah. No, it's true.
Clark Wolf beat you.
Oh, she did?
All right. Anyway,
I stand corrected.
No one said you knew the league well at all. Okay, so.
And I'm Mark Ellis. Welcome back to the Schmoedown.
We have a couple more people coming out, and the next person has actually very recent history. Ladies and gentlemen, the Inner Geekdom and Teams champion, Mike Kalinowski.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Lord. We're all going to be a complete blubbering mess once he's done. Just going to warn you.
I'm going to get it right away. The whole, oh, he's the heel and he's too nice now. And Clark, you were someone that I had watched before I was even involved in this. Christian's like, watch this stuff, and watch Clark. You guys are very similar. And I remember I met you at Halloween Horror Nights as Norman Bates, and you came up to and I was like, oh, you're Clark Wolf. And you're like, how does Norman Bates know Clark Wolf? And I just like, because I'm a fan of the Schmoedown. It's like, and then, but we never played until, and like, I'm glad Christian said it, because my match against you was one of my favorite matches of all time. Yeah. And it was just there. And then we just never again faced off against each other, and it was just always there. But to see you earn the nickname Classy, because I remember watching after your matches, and I would see you do these defeats, and you would come back, and it just, I was like, I want to be like that. I want to be that competitor. And Rachel, when I didn't know who you were, and it was Comic-Con 2017, and I'd heard Rachel Cushing, she just did what you did in the 5-way, and she was supposed to win it, and it didn't happen, and we sat there, and we were like, well, we're gonna do this forever, this dance, you and I, and to see you, because a lot of us, like Clark, I know what it's like to be a performer and to come out here, and to know that you don't like that. And you put on such a good show, and I was like, at Comic-Con, and I was like, you were great. She's like, no, I was a mess. And I don't see that, to see you evolve as a player, but it's not that, you're my friend. And every match that I'm with you, I think I'm going to lose my friend after because
Never,
I don't
ever,
want to.
ever happen.
So this is going beyond it, and you know, I can't do this dance anymore with you. I love the two of you. You girls, and to see you back in the Facebook page though, and you're like so much full of energies. I knew this was coming for a while. We've talked, and I knew for you what you had to do. But to see you're a part of it still, and to see how you act every day with the fans now, you're the greatest of all time in this game. Hands down. I don't care what anyone else says. I'm gonna miss the hell out of you girls, and I have some for you. I know you've seen this before.
How warm is it?
Oh, warm champagne.
But there's a condition.
Champagne.
My girlfriend's father says that I have to give this to you, saying he wants to thank you for letting me win both belts. That was the only condition for letting you win both belts. So this is for you.
Really nice words there. Some great words. It's
Is that
nice
a bottle of Collider wine?
It might very well
I
might
thought
be.
the same thing there for a second.
It's very nice to see. And, you know, Kalinowski's the kind of guy where it's like, how long before he just shows up at Rachel's house? And it's just like, you want to play Trivia HQ? Like, they love playing each other so very much. It's been so much fun to watch that rivalry blossom. And to watch them play teams, singles, it really is a treat. And I'm sure that they're going to enjoy that bottle of wine, and a well-earned bottle of wine. They earned the whole damn winery. They earned the whole vineyard. They earned all of Napa Valley here tonight.
To close it out, they had a chance briefly in the post-interview to talk, but who better than the members of the Fife Club, both Emma Fife and the android Mark Andreyko. Here we go.
I think actually we each drank about a bottle of wine apiece last night.
While we were studying for our last
we had a very serious study session.
You three drank the wine.
Yeah,
I watched.
Well, I did the math on it, and I was like, we drank 3 bottles of wine, and only Clark, Rachel, and I were drinking the wine. So
we like our wine.
Yes.
I think I'm faster on the buzzer having drunk wine.
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna ugly cry, but you guys are my family. You made me be a better person. You've inspired so many people. To paraphrase what Mr. Ellis said, you don't expect to make good friends as you get older. But you guys are my family, and this whole Schmoedown experience has improved me as a person, and you guys are the classiest, most wonderful people I think I've ever met. Your legacy extends so far beyond this game. It's a privilege to know you. You make me want to be a better person.
It's
Oh, and by the way, I'm the oldest person to ever win a belt.
It was hard for me to not manage you guys this year because I am very mediocre at movie trivia, like very mediocre, but
Still
I'm
got me
very
beat.
competitive. So when I had the opportunity to manage Clark and Rachel and Mark Andreyko, I mean, all of you, I started working on the Schmoedown back in 2016, and I think on the very first day that I ever did post-match interviews, I interviewed Mark Andreyko because it was his match against William Bibiani, and I want to say it was either that week or the week after the Wolves of Steel played a match, and so that was when I first met Clark Wolf, and Clark was already like such a rising star in the Schmoedown. I mean, you were the 2016 Rookie of the Year, and then to follow that up with Rachel the following year, and then to get the two of you together, I just knew that like this was the Schmoedown that I wanted to see. This was the direction that I wanted the show to go because it's a very like male-dominated kind of show, and a lot of the questions have a very male-leaning vibe to them. And then to have the two of you come in and also to like speak up for yourselves, like that was the thing too, was when we were working together as a faction and as a team, like we would take a look at the wheel, and we would strategize and speak up if we felt like it feels a little weighted in somebody else's favor, and I just appreciate like the fact that you guys were always so it was great to watch you guys grow as a team. because I think that honestly, like both of you were great competitors individually, but then when you got together, you really brought out the best in each other. And a lot of that I think has to do with, again, your real interest in teamwork, in communicating with one another, and just like, again, like Andreyko said, like it's just like it's a family. Like we would get together and study before.
Oh, you're not getting rid of me.
Every single one of your matches.
Sorry. And I think we should also say the Shirewolves only lost twice.
Yeah.
And both times you only lost by 1 point.
Exactly.
That's consistency, that's class, that's knowledge. Even in defeat, you guys are the nicest, most supportive competitors of all time. I wish everyone had the luxury of having people like this in their life.
Yeah. And just like I remember too, Rachel, when you started playing in Inner Geekdom, I was just so excited that you were so good. And the fact that like she knew everything about Lord of the Rings, like that was so exciting to me because I love Lord of the Rings and I feel like that wasn't getting as much love. So then to have you come in and dominate in like the comic book categories.
Representation matters.
Yes, exactly.
Even in Middle Earth.
You like to see yourself represented, even if it's just that there's somebody that knows as much about Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter as you, which Rachel knows more than me, for the record. But
that can be said about pretty much everything.
Yeah,
Rachel knows more than
when
me.
I said that Rachel has a very broad basis of knowledge, like I am not kidding.
She's the Ken Jennings.
It's so true.
of
Like,
Schmoedown.
like seriously, like like when she spun drama on the wheels today, I was like, I feel like it's a pretty good category for Rachel. But yeah, I mean, the Schmoedown is just. I think that I have not quite come to terms with the fact that like you guys are not going to be playing anymore.
There's going to be a lot of people sobbing as they drive home tonight.
Exactly. When all this kind of like settles. But you know, I just think about looking at, you know, like the video that people did and people like Janine and Stacy like coming up through the Schmoedown ranks, and Rachel Silvestrini and all these new people who are coming in. Freaking video Drew, man. What a trip.
Oh, yes. that video was edited so impeccably.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you. That was a beautiful, beautiful video.
Eric is like really, really killing it on the promos, but I mean, again,
We're not going to be able to afford him for much longer if he keeps
I
making
know,
videos
seriously.
like that.
But what I was just gonna say is, you know, it's what everybody said. It's that, you know, that if there's a Mount Rushmore of Schmoedown, both of you are inaugural faces. If there is a Schmoedown Hall of Fame ever, you guys will be in the introductory class. Anyone that is coming into the Schmoedown now, there's no doubt in my mind that they will know who the Shirewolves are, because that is the legacy that you guys have left on this league, and it will never be replicated. There will be other great teams for sure, but they won't have the same moment in Schmoedown history, I think, that the Shirewolves did.
See them all back up there again for sure. And what nice words it was, and what a nice moment it was to
It's
have
been
them all
fun.
there.
We
It
should have
was,
teams
and-
retire more often. This is a good time.
Well, yes.
Are we done?
No, not yet.
No? Who else coming out?
So
Who's behind the curtain?
There's no one behind the curtain, but there's someone behind my phone. I just got a text from someone.
Very
and
tiny person.
He is the former Movie Trivia Schmoedown Teams Champion, the former Schmoedown Singles Champion. He is the inglorious Sam Levine, English Bastards himself, the inglorious one. What Clark and Rachel did for the Schmoedown will never be duplicated and can never be understated. They are trailblazers in every sense of the word, and their legacy within the league will continue to inspire both players and fans for as long as the Schmoedown remains. These are two women I adore in every sense of the word, and I'm so consistently impressed by them and damn honored to know them. The chiseling of Schmoedown Mount Rushmore can officially begin now. So that
Very
is
nice
the
of
glorious one, Sam Levine.
Of Sam, and you know, I'm just happy that this community has grown to what it has become here in our 6th season, the magic season of the Movie Trivia Schmoedown, because we've built up a big enough fan base to have a great studio audience here on a Thursday night. How about a round of applause for yourself? And I want to give a shout out to 3 very special audience members here.
Yeah.
We have Richard, Antonio, and Stephanie. They are patrons that joined the new tier where you can actually come and watch a match live in studio. So big shout out. How about a round of applause applause
Great
for
one to come
Richard,
to.
Antonio, and Stephanie. Their initials, Rachel, and it's Richard, Antonio, Stephanie. That's R-A-S. That's spelled Roz. Mike Kalinowski might want to write that
nice.
down.
I will say before we close out tonight, I will like to turn it to the Shirewolves and ask the Shirewolves if there's anything that you guys would like to say before you sign off here on the Schmoedown desk for the last time.
Wow. Thank you for putting this whole thing together. I feel kind of overwhelmed. The video was amazing, and especially to see a lot of the fans. And like I said in the post interview, the fact that anybody looks up to me is like a weird thing, but a thing I'm really proud of. And I never thought I'd make a mark on the world in quite this way. But the fact that people say that I have, I'll take that with me forever. And I'm really grateful for that. And so many people have called this whole thing a family tonight, and Mark and Mike, and that's how I feel. You're all friends for life, and I love you very much. And this is not easy, even though I know it's the right decision, but that you guys understand and support us, means the world.
Absolutely. Thank you, sincerely, really, really, and truly, because even though we've done this a lot and we've gotten used to it, watching the footage with the first Makuga match was really, it took me back to a place, and it was scary. It was scary to go out there and do it. It was fun, and I always had a great time doing it. But yeah, I'm so impressed and so proud of where all of this has come, and who is in this room, and who is a part of the group in general, and because it does look like all of us, which is so awesome and exciting. And thank you guys for caring, because we say it all the time, like the idea that it's just like a movie trivia thing, like why does that matter? But it does matter. It does matter, because this is what we love. This is what we care about. We're so passionate, and we didn't get this way overnight. This is a lifelong thing that finally it feels like we're being celebrated for. Maybe that wasn't always the case. And, so it's deeply personal. And even if I don't necessarily show it all the time, it's deeply personal, and I am incredibly grateful for the support, and that you guys came here on a Thursday. It's really hot in here, so for anybody who's not in the room, they are suffering, and so that makes it even more kind and generous. But truly, thank you guys, and Rachel, thank you for being such a great partner, and balancing me out in all the ways, and carrying me when I, wasn't having my strongest day, and I hope that you feel similarly. And thank you, Mark and Christian, and the whole crew here who actually cares and shows up and works long hours and pays attention to the finer details of the music and the promos, and lets me do Thor Lightning, because that's the magic of the post-production team. They don't have to do that. They could just be like, no, I'm not doing that. But they did. They let us do that, and that's just excellent. So thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you, Clark and Rachel, for everything that you've done for the league, everything that you've done for us. Thank you for being good friends, and just to watch everything that you guys have done. And you saw it in the video, and you know personally, both of you, my daughter is obsessed. And the first thing I said, Shirewolves last match. She's like, I want to watch it when I get home. And I said, tomorrow morning before school, that you do mean a lot to a lot of people, and it's not just little girls, to a lot of competitors out here. What you've done, the way you play the game, people learned from you guys, things that you've done. And I know, Clark, you're going to be, just the tournament's coming up, you're going to be on the desk a lot. You're going to be here as a commentator, and who wouldn't want that knowledge at the desk, being able to, a champion, a classy champion, if you will, sitting there calling the matches. And Rachel, I don't think you'll be able to stay away from the thing. I'm not talking about competing. I just mean being around and that type of thing. I think you'll be back one way or another. I'm at least crossing my fingers. So thank you to both you guys, the Shirewolves.
It's been a hard day's night for the Shirewolves, Christian. They've been working 8 days a week, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. I think it was said enough. I think we've done enough.
Yes, and speaking of the Shirewolves, one more gift that they're giving you is if you put their names in right now for you guys, Shirewolves, you will get $7 off of tickets for New York and Arizona. But go ahead and do it. Go to the Schmoedownlive.com. This will be available for another week before we put it on to the public. So this is exclusive just to you guys here tonight. You got to see the last match for the Shirewolves. So we sign off for the last time for the Shirewolves, Clark Wolf and Rachel Cushing as competitors. Mark, hell of a match. We do have new champions with KOrruption, Mike Kalinowski and Chance Ellison. And what's going to happen next with them? That tournament's coming up. Mike Kalinowski, he's not done. Tomorrow, he's playing up against Ben Bateman to find out who plays Snyder, to find out who goes to New York.
For KOrruption, the future's so bright they got to wear shades. The past of the Schmoedown will be honored, and the Shirewolves will be at the top of that list. And as for the present, well, there's a party going on for KOrruption at the Hilton right now. I think the rest of us are going to raise our finest bottle of wine to the Shirewolves.
We'll see you next time.
I'll raise my can to that because that's all I have. So obviously, this was a very emotional match, to say the least. Obviously, at the very end of that video, I did not say a whole lot just because it was very emotional to see the ending and the conclusion of all that. However, now having a couple days to think about everything that happened, I was very, very happy to see that it was given the respect that it deserved to be in a live streamed event on a Schmoedown Throwdown, where sometimes other teams didn't really get the fond farewell that they deserved, like the Patriots, Above the Line, and several other teams. So it was great to see that Clark and Rachel and the Shirewolves were able to get that final crowning, final match that many teams before them I would have liked to have seen get as well. I also want to thank Eric, aka Nerd Chronic, Mark and Christian, and everybody at Schmoedown for allowing me to have a small piece in that tribute video at the very end. That being said, though, that was only a few bits of the actual video I did. What you're about to see now is the full uncut version of my personal thank you video to Clark and Rachel. It's about 3 minutes long, so it's nothing, ginormous. But I felt that now that the video is online, I felt that I could give my take and my piece to Clark and Rachel as well. So on behalf of all the reactors and all the Schmoedown community, I want to once again thank you, Clark and Rachel, for everything that you've done for Schmoedown, and I hope you will enjoy this following video. Hey Clark, Rachel, it's JTH, Schmoedown's 37th most popular reactor, but that's besides the point. For anybody that's ever seen a JTH Reacts knows that I'm not the smartest person in the world, and I don't tend to get many things right. However, one thing that I've been very proud to have been right about over the years is that when the two of you formed this team known as the Shirewolves, I knew from the very beginning we were in for something very, very special. With all the accomplishments and fulfillments that you have obtained over this year and a half that you have been a team, makes me very proud and happy to have been a fan of yours since the beginning of this team. And also to have been a fan of yours since before this team had dawned. Clark, going all the way back to the very early years of Schmoedown, and Rachel, when you first appeared in the Nerds Watch. I've been very happy to have followed your steps and tracks through the years of Schmoedown. So while it is very saddening to see that both of you are choosing to step away from the game, at the same time, I'm very happy and proud to hear that both of you have felt that you have fulfilled everything that you've set out to accomplish, which in the grand scheme of things is the most important thing, not just in Schmoedown, but in life in general. So I guess I'll close with this. In a society where we tend to judge and remember people more for what they can't do, I think it's important as a community here in Schmoedown that we choose to appreciate and remember the things that people can do. And on behalf of the entire community, I want you to know this. What you can do, what you have done, is inspire and motivate so many people in and outside of the Schmoedown community. You've given so many people strength and confidence to be exactly what they wish to be. So on behalf of the entire Schmoedown community, I want to thank you for everything that you've done on behalf of the game, this community, and myself in general. And I wish you nothing but the best in all of your future endeavors, and hope that you will be happy from here to the end of eternity, because happiness is one of the most important things anyone can have. So on behalf of myself, all the other reactors, and the Schmoedown community in general, I want to wish you one final adieu. Thank you.